I'm going to ask the clerk to read a House resolution.
House Resolution Number 5 by Representative Ralston, the 7th, Smyre, the 135th, Jaspers, the 11th, Burns, the 159th, and Jones, the 47th. Whereas the state of Georgia continues to mourn the loss of one of its most distinguished citizens with last year's passing of Representative John Meadows, and whereas John Meadows was long recognized by the citizens of this state for the vital role he played in leadership and his deep personal commitment to the welfare of the citizens of Georgia, and whereas he proudly served as a guardian of this nation's freedom and liberty with the United States Marine Corps, and whereas he diligently and conscientiously devoted innumerable hours of his time, talents, and energy towards the betterment of his community and his state, is evidenced dramatically by his superlative service as a member of the Calhoun City Council, mayor of Calhoun, and as a 6th-term representative of the 5th District. And whereas his strong desire to be proactively involved in the future of his community and his longing to repay the support he and his family received piloted him to the Georgia General Assembly. And whereas his extensive civic involvement and commitment and committee memberships led to his role as chairman of the House Rules Committee. And whereas he gave inspiration to many through his high ideals, morals, and deep concern for his fellow citizens, and the devotion, patience, and understanding he demonstrated to his family and friends were admired by others. And whereas he was a person of magnanimous strength with unimpeachable reputation for integrity, intelligence, fairness, and kindness, and by the example he made of his life, he made this world a better place in which to live. And whereas John Meadows' significant organizational leadership talents, remarkable patience and diplomacy, keen sense of vision, and sensitivity to the needs of the citizens of this state earned him the respect and admiration of his colleagues and associates and truly defined the meaning of public service. And whereas his dedication to his community and his state was surpassed only by his devotion to his loving wife, Marie, his 2 remarkable children, BJ and Missy, and his 3 wonderful grandchildren, Will, Patrick, and Maxwell. And whereas a compassionate and generous man, John Meadows will long be remembered for his love of family, friendship, and public service, and will be missed by all who had the great fortune of knowing him. And whereas the mezzanine in which his final legislative office is located shall forever carry and represent the spirit of his public service, devotion, and patriotism, now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives that the members of this body designate the mezzanine located at the southern portion of the Capitol under the jurisdiction of the House of Representatives between the 3rd and 4th floors as the John Meadows Mezzanine in honor and in solemn memory of John Meadows, and authorize the placement of an appropriate plaque so designating such mezzanine.
I'm very honored to be joined up here at the podium by some special friends. Marie Meadows, BJ Meadows, Missy Meadows, 3 Meadows grandsons, Mike Meadows, his brother, and Mike's wife, and BJ's wife. They chose not to say anything today, and I respect that. I did find out that BJ and I have sort of something in common. There's still a lot of times, every day, every week, when I need to sit down with him and get some advice. And I found out BJ does the same thing. John Meadows left a footprint not only on Gordon County, but this house and this state that will never, ever go away. He was a giant of a man. He was crusty. Well, that's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? But he had the heart of a teddy bear. And he was one of the finest human beings that I ever knew. And I remember my first thought when I got the word that November morning was, what am I going to do now? And I still haven't figured that out. But this is an honor for him, and I hope the family recognizes how much we loved him, but we love y'all, and we know he loved us. There's nothing else we can do except one thing, and so I'm going to ask Katie Deal if she would to come back for one final musical presentation. I can't think of anything more fitting.
From the halls of